The IB program is an internationally recognized and world-renowned program found in over 140 countries with over 1 million students. This program helps students to think critically and come up with innovative ideas in the rapidly growing world today. Just in Hong Kong alone, there are over 40 IB World Schools who offer the primary years program, middle years program, and a diploma program, which are the 3 international baccalaureate programs. IB, in other words known as International Baccalaureate, is a program founded in 1968 in Geneva by a group of forward-thinking teachers who had banded together to create an international pre-uni curriculum. The first IB schools were private, but now today half of IB World Schools are state schools, showing substantial growth of the program. This prestigious program is internationally recognized and accepted by universities all around the world. The idea of IB is that you must seek out information yourself with your own resources and not just have the teacher tell you what to do and what you must memorize for the exam, also requiring collaboration among students and lots of group work and discussions. The IB Middle Years program has 5 areas of interaction, which are environments, community and service, approaches to learning, human ingenuity, and health and social education. For every unit that the teachers and students are working on, there will be a specific area of interaction for the students to focus on. IB also is a learner profile which contains 10 attributes, each of them representing a different quality that they wish for you to have. IB students are also regularly asked to do reflection tasks, such as writing a paragraph or revisiting the assessment with their group mates. The Canadian International School of Hong Kong is one of the most prestigious IB schools in Hong Kong, having an arts center and tons of other great facilities. Catering students from 3 to 18, CDNS has been actively engaged in the IB program for 6 years. Their mission statement is to develop responsible global citizens through academic excellence. CDNS also has a very interesting program involving the MacBooks called the One-to-One program, in which all students in the schools either allow possession or usage of an Apple laptop. This program received a lot of positive feedback and also allows students to seek information using their own skills. Now we have an interview from a student in CDNS who has been actively participating in the IB program and will speak about the reason why IB is different from other systems. So you're an IB student from the Canadian International School?
Yes, I am Arnold Young.
What do you think of IB so far in the school?
Very challenging, time-consuming, and the exams has much more pressure.
Since the change from OSSD program to the IB program in this school, what changes do you feel the most?
I think that there's a lot more group work and interactions among the students, and that you have to approach to learning more, and you actually have to go on the internet and learn.
What kind of differences are there comparing to the OSSD program?
I think that the OSSD program, the teacher gives us most of the answers, and now with the new IB program, we have to search it up on the internet.
How does the changes impact you?
There's more interactions between the students, and so we improve our social skills and collaborations between partners, as it would occur a lot in the future.
How about the laptop program? Can you speak of that? Do you like it or dislike it, and what do you feel about it?
I really like it because it lets us, it makes it easier for us to type and do research. Before, in order to get research, we had to go up to the library, and that wastes a lot of time.
So you definitely like this laptop program more than the old program when you do not have any laptops?
Yes.
What challenges are you facing from the IB system? Like, can you speak of your pressure? What gives you the most pressure?
Exams, the design cycle also.
Can you speak of the design cycle? Do you like it so far?
No, I hate it.
Why?
It's time consuming. It's very stressful.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you like the IB system so far, and do you think it will benefit you in your future?
I don't really like it. It's really stressful and time consuming, but I think it would be helpful for the future.
Why so?
The world is changing fast, and you learn to adapt to changes.
And you think the IB system will help you do that?
Yes.
By encouraging interaction among students?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Though the IB program encourages lots of talking and group work, it's quite different from the Hong Kong local education system, which a lot of local schools use. This scheme is called the 334 scheme, meaning 3 years of primary secondary education, meaning Form 1 to 3 or grades 7 to 9. Then comes 3 years of senior secondary education, which consists of either Form 4 to 6 or grades 10 to 12. Lastly is 4 years of college and university. This scheme started in 2009. The core subjects of the 334 system is Chinese, English, Liberal Studies, and Math with 3 elective subjects. In order to move on to university education after senior secondary education, students must at least get a pass on those 4 core subjects in the Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education, which in other words is a public exam. Now we have a student who comes from one of these 334 schools, LaSalle College, and we'll talk to him about the 334 system. What's your name?
Adam Wood.
Okay. I understand that a lot of local schools use the 334 system. Do you think it's a challenging or tough one?
I think the 334 system will be a tough one because the EHC exam that we're going to take is actually a pretty hard one. And we have to study for quite a long time. Like my sister, she studied for like 6 months before the exam. And yeah, and we have to memorize a lot of stuff.
Let's just go encourage group work and interaction among students for projects and such.
No, I don't think so. They're like really little group work projects. And it's basically individual works all the time. And the most important thing is that we study for our exams.
Are you pressured by this system? If so, what gives you the most pressure in the system?
Yeah, I'm kind of pressured by the system because it is pretty scary as I've heard that the exam is really hard and it takes a long time to study and you need to know your basics really well.
How long have you been learning in this system? What do you feel about it?
I've been learning 3 years in this system and I think that this system is so far a really tough one because the teacher gives you a lot of stuff that you have to memorize and they need and there are like a lot of tests and exams because they don't want you to forget it and they want you to know them well. Mostly it's the teachers giving you answers or facts that they need you to memorize because as they believe that those questions will be in the exam and if you memorize the questions, those answers for the questions, you will score high marks or you will do well in the exam.
Have you heard of the IB program?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think that there's more freedom in the IB system as you have heard from your peers, or are there more freedom in the 334 system?
I think there's more freedom in the IB system because it is basically, of course, more fun to work with other students as groups and doing projects than memorizing stuff that the teacher gives you.
Another education system in Hong Kong that originated from Britain is the GCSE, meaning the General Certificate of Secondary Education. GCSEs were first introduced for teaching during September 1986. The system replaced the original GCE O-Level, which stands for General Certificate of Education, Ordinary Level. GCSE now is pretty much the same and has not changed much since it was first introduced, though minor changes have been made. The system is taken by students aged 14 to 16, and students are allowed to decide their courses from year 9. After a course is chosen, they begin studying the course at year 10. Though the 3 courses, Math, Science, and English, are taught in advance because they're too long to be taught in the 2-year time period. The final exams occur at the end of year 11. The GCSE provides aids for kids with disabilities who are involved in the program, such as kids having trouble writing can use a word processor during the exam, or if a student has learning disabilities, take a different exam. In the GCSE program, the grading system ranges from an A star to a G, A star being the highest honor. When a student achieves a level D to G in a course, it's a level 1 qualification, and if a student achieves A star to a C, it's regarded as a level 2 qualification. When a student fails a course, it's a U, meaning unclassified and the course is not included in the student's certificate. The GCSE rarely looks on reflecting upon your work. Unlike the IB system, when a student completes an assignment, they are rarely asked to reflect and look back upon it to see the mistakes they made and correct them, or write a paragraph explaining your strengths or weaknesses. Now we'll have a student talk about his experiences from one of the GCSE schools in Hong Kong, German Swiss International School.
The GCSE is quite a good system because I think that it allows the student to develop skills and learn techniques in every subject in all fields. So it gives the student a wide variety of preparation and things that they know they'll be better prepared for the future. GCSE's syllabus is done in 2 years. So one first year is basically learning everything, and in some cases doing the exam. And the second year is mainly just doing the exam, but also doing the coursework. Personally, I find it not too tough because for the exams there's a lot of time for preparation. You have study leave, and for the coursework, you have a lot of time. The teachers will give you a lot of help, and I think personally that it's not too hard. I think the biggest thing that students taking GCSE need to think about is the marking that they and how they will be compared with other students when their exams are marked. They're compared with the other students, and the examiners will, according to how well you did against other students, give you a certain grade. For example, if you're in the top 15% of the whole world taking the exam, then you will get the A star, which is the top mark. So I think in the exam, basically, it is not how well you did yourself to achieve that top mark. It's how well you did faring against other people in the world, which gets you your mark, which I find pretty intimidating when I do the exam. Well, we in many subjects such as geography, history, and information technology and math, we sometimes use a computer, quite often actually. For geography, we use the computer for our coursework, which because our coursework is all done on the computer. And in math, sometimes we use the computer to do work worksheets or online questions, and but however, just for any subject, for example science, sometimes we will go to the computer lab to use the computers for certain programs. For example, in physics, they have various programs produced by our school, produced outside of school, which in fact actually quite useful. And yeah, all in all, technology is a big part of it.
The three main education systems, IB, 334, and GCSE, all have their similarities and differences, though IB is more unique out of all of them. Both the 334 and GCSE is more focused on preparing you for the major exams, but IB instead tries to prepare you for the future through group work, interaction, and such. Technology is also a big part of IB learning, as is for the GCSE. 20 years ago, if you had asked a student whether he would be using a computer in class, they'd think that it'd be absurd. But now, IB promotes the use of MacBooks and computer in class for seeking information and using the resources you have at your hand to the maximum. Out of all three systems, only the IB program has a learner profile and asks you to reflect on your work, as IB feels it's important to look back on your work and work out your strengths, weaknesses, and try to do a better job next time. Which is a good thing, as many students nowadays just forget what they got wrong this time and make the same mistake again on the next assignment. Furthermore, the system nurtures you not only so you can have better interaction skills, but also you become a better person or a person of quality. The IB system is a fairly new education system, but the differences that it promotes will definitely help its students benefit in its work environment and produce future global leaders.